Hey everybody, so recently I was contacted by somebody who was interested in interviewing me based on kind of my experience with the application process for the Disney College program. Her name is Brittany D. Cologiro. She is the content manager for the DisneyOutpost.com. She wanted to do a bit of a collaboration where she asked me questions, I answer them. I post the interview to YouTube and she posts it to the Disney Outpost as well. So once you're done here, or even before, go ahead and check her out at the DisneyOutpost.com. I'll leave a link down below so that you can read that article when it comes out. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start with the questions.
So I noticed in one of your videos that you've been to Disneyland multiple times, but you've never been to Disney World. So I was wondering, what made you want to do the college program in Florida?
What made me want to do the program in Walt Disney World as opposed to Disneyland kind of boils down to a number of different things. Primarily it was that I've never been there. I'd never been to Disney World, and I'm all about trying new things, going on new adventures. In addition, I just felt like there was more opportunities, more roles that I could potentially take on. And the vast majority of the people that I've seen who have done the Disney College program went to Florida. That's both my friends and people that I've interacted with online. So I really wanted to get a similar experience to what they had, and I thought it would be the best option for me over going to Disneyland. And it just seemed like a better opportunity to have more park experience, to get in those parks for free and take my time with them. There's no real opportunity like the Disney College program to really take your time with Disney World. So that was my primary reasoning for doing Disney World over Disneyland.
That is definitely a cheaper way to see Disney World. What are your arrival dates for the college program in the spring?
I arrive on the 17th of January and my last day is August 3rd.
That's awesome that you're getting there early because the holiday discounts will still be happening. So you should be getting 40% off merchandise until the beginning of February, which is pretty sweet.
Fantastic. I'm all about discounts.
So during your phone interview video, you mentioned that you were going to treat the phone interview as if it were an in-person interview, that you'd be wearing business attire, you'd be smiling, and treating it as if the recruiter were in front of you. Do you think that this helped you with your phone interview?
I think it was definitely very, very helpful, and I would recommend anybody who's doing the phone interview through the Disney College program do the same. I think what it did for me was kind of communicate body language to myself that this is a professional interview, that this is just isn't me in my studio hanging out and just talking to myself, but that this is an actual interview, that there's a person that works for Disney that's talking to you. And if I were to be in person with them, I'd want to look this way, I'd want to carry myself a certain way, and being in those clothes, even shaving, putting on cologne, kind of gave myself a confidence, or I guess subconsciously reiterated that this is professional and that you need to carry yourself appropriately. And it just made my mannerisms, it made the way I spoke, it made the way that I answered questions more professional, I think. So I would say it was definitely helpful, and yeah, definitely recommend it to anybody.
I definitely agree that getting ready beforehand, as if it were an actual in-person interview, really helps with your confidence where it's over the phone. For me anyways, it makes me feel more comfortable. If I was sitting just kind of on my bed in pajamas, I would feel a little self-conscious, which sounds kind of weird because it's over the phone, but you know, it definitely gets you more in the mindset of it being a real interview. Do you have any advice for future CPs after they've prepped for it and during the interview itself?
I would say once you're done prepping, once you kind of know what's going to be asked by the recruiters, just have a general bearing of what to expect in the interview. When it comes time, just have fun with it. Have confidence in yourself. I think confidence is the single most important thing. I think that's way more important than prepping or doing your research. I think if you go into an interview confident, just knowing who you are, just really believing that you have something to offer, then you can't go wrong. Take it in. Record it if you want. You don't even have to post it like I did, but just take it in. Really savor it. Really appreciate it for that moment, because it is a really cool thing to do. To even interview with Disney is a real cool thing. I didn't try to think about what I would do wrong or how to answer things perfectly. I just had a general idea of how I would answer things. I would listen really well. You got to listen to what the interviewer says. Listen really well to what they say. Take your time. Understand not only the question, but the heart of the question, and just have a good conversation. It's all about having a good conversation.
I totally agree with all of that advice, especially knowing kind of what you're going to say, but don't have it all in front of you. I feel like I see so many people on YouTube and on their blogs, on Facebook, that have kind of lists and lists of notes, and there's no way you can read all of those notes and kind of look over them, know what you're going to say while you're speaking candidly to an interviewer. I think people just psych themselves out getting all of that stuff ready, but it's not worth it. Have like maybe some bullet points, but mostly have it in your head and just kind of go from there as if you're talking to a good friend, just like you said.
Definitely.
So in one of your videos, I noticed you mentioned that you were working towards your MBA, which is awesome, by the way. And I was just wondering then, since you've had some time to apply for the program, is this the first time that you've applied to the Disney College program?
Yes, this is my first time applying.
So why did you decide to apply to the Disney College program now rather than during your undergrad?
It's a really good question, and I have a really good answer for it. I didn't apply during my undergraduate years or earlier on in college because I didn't really want to interrupt school. I'm kind of about finishing things and not putting things on the back burner on hold when I'm really in the heat of getting it done. I felt like going to Disney in the middle of school might kind of distract me or make me kind of not want to go back to school. And so that's the primary reason. The other is I kind of wanted to make it something to look forward to, something to be my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. And to kind of serve as motivation throughout all of undergrad and graduate school, with at least the idea that the Disney College program was a possibility. My other reasoning for it is that I wanted to leave myself open to maybe stay in Florida once the college program was over, to either work or to get another internship with a professional internship or something like that. So I just wanted to make myself flexible and not have to be tied to Reno for school and everything if I wanted to stay there for another opportunity that came about.
That actually really is a good answer. And I think it's really important for future CPs to hear that, because so many people do the college program while they're in school for their undergrad and then have a hard time getting back into the swing of things at school. And one of the things that you hear all the time during your program is how important it is to finish school, because if you really want to move up in the company, there's only so far you can go without finishing school. So everyone in the program really tries to emphasize that, and I think it's great that you thought of that ahead of time. In one of your videos, you were discussing how supportive the online Disney College program community has been through social media and everything else like that so far. And I was just wondering if you could explain what that's like to someone who maybe hasn't experienced it, because I know before I did the program, I kind of knew that there was Facebook groups and things like that, but I didn't realize how much of an impact it would have. And it's kind of an interesting thing for people who haven't done the program.
Absolutely. So the community is really, really awesome. It's basically just the group of us that are in the trenches together waiting to hear back from Disney, who are applying and putting ourselves out there. Primarily where you kind of see this manifest is on Facebook. People are always posting stuff, whether it's videos or memes or just little words of support. It's where the whole wave, if you heard the term wave, that's when the Disney College program releases who's been accepted, and you'll see on Facebook just acceptance letter after acceptance letter, and they just kind of pour in and wave, and that's when people kind of see those and freak out about them. The community is really awesome. They're more or less just supportive. I'm sure there's some drama that's involved on that page as well, but for the most part, I pretty much exclusively only experience kindness from the people that I interacted with. It's a really cool environment to share a bit of yourselves, share why it is you're doing the Disney College program, kind of sharing each other's trials and victories, and just be there for one another in the midst of waiting, which is a really ambiguous and can be very stressful time. So it's good to have one another to lean on for that.
I think that's a great way to describe it. And one of the best things about that community, in my opinion, is that it really does carry over to while you're there on the program as well. I mean, there is the occasional drama here and there, but that's definitely to be expected in that kind of situation. But in general, it's an overwhelmingly positive community to be part of. Do you have an idea of which housing complex you would like yet?
I don't have a definite place that I'm wanting to live yet. I'm kind of in between the Commons and Chatham. Commons was kind of my first choice, but the guys that I'm looking to live with had expressed pretty high interest in Chatham, which I was, super okay with. I like the way that it's set up and the recreational facilities in the vicinity. So I would love to live either place. There's a good chance we'll live at Chatham, though, because that's kind of their preference at the moment. But we'll see.
Both of those would be awesome. I actually lived in the Commons during my second program though, and the washer and dryer was very convenient. And so you have started looking for roommates already, which is good. Did you find them in the Facebook group?
Yeah, so I started looking for roommates, and actually they pursued me a little bit too. But yeah, through Facebook I found them. I'm actually have 3 guys lined up right now. We need 2 more. We want 6 in a house to minimize our payments and to maximize the experience. So hi Alex, hi Trey, hi Seth. But we're currently looking for 2 more guys, so.
Oh, perfect. That's really smart, I think, to try to minimize the rent payments. So I know that you're going to character performer auditions this weekend. Have you been doing anything special to prepare for that?
Yes, character performer auditions. I am so stoked. I am so ready. Flying to Phoenix for that this weekend, this Friday. I have them early in the morning. I'll get there. To prepare for it, I've kind of just been, thinking about it, getting excited. Some of the things I've been doing is just kind of dancing, just kind of out of nowhere. One of the best ways to get me excited about anything is to just jump around to ridiculous music. Listening to really crude hip-hop music. That kind of does it for me sometimes. Also just been talking with some of the guys and girls that have said they're doing the same audition with me, so communicating with them a little bit and just trying to get each other excited about it.
That should definitely get you pumped up for the auditions. So I know you've also been accepted for attractions, which would be your role if you don't get the audition, which hopefully you do, good luck. But if you stay in attractions, is there a certain attraction that you would like to have?
So there's a couple attractions that I'm primarily concerned with that I've voiced before, that being Mount Kilimanjaro Safari Guide and Jungle Cruise Guide. I don't know if I want one over the other. I would love either of those just because of the dry humor and the fun that people have with that job. So Tower of Terror, because they basically, you don't have to show up happy every day. You can have fun with that. Or really any ride. I mean, I'm not particular, but those 2 that I mentioned are probably 2 that I would have a lot of fun with.
I think both of those would be awesome. Attractions is such a fun role that no matter where you get placed, I'm sure you're going to love it. So then my last question is, what are you most looking forward to during your program?
I think what I'm looking most forward to is just meeting a lot of great people. I think that's the #1 thing that really any Disney College Program alumni has said to me, that the most important thing that happened to them is that they met a lot of great people. The most fun they had so much fun because they met so many great people. So I would definitely say that I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people and making a lot of friends and just going on adventures with those folks, and also connecting with people that I've met on the internet and seeing them in real life is something that I'm really looking forward to as well. I mean, an added perk is that I get into the Disney parks for free for months on end, and I get to take advantage of that and really enjoy that experience.
That's so true. I've met some of my best friends in the college program, people I talk to still almost every day. So I'm so thankful for that. And I mean, of course, going to the parks for free is definitely awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you, and I can't wait to hear more about your program.
Well, thank you so much, Brittany. I really appreciate you doing this interview. I had a lot of fun with it. If you guys want to see more of Brittany's stuff, she has some really cool stuff on her Disney Outpost website. Go ahead and check it out. Like I said, a lot of cool reports and tips for your family vacation when you plan to go to Disney World. She also has some really cool testimonials on her page for people who've done the Disney College program. So you can look at their story, their example, and kind of learn from that and use that to get yourself more excited for the Disney College program. So definitely take full advantage of her page. It's really awesome, has a lot of extensive and great information, a lot of fun stories too. It's going to be linked below, thedisneyoutpost.com, and her name is Brittany. With that, I am done with this current vlog. I'm going to go get ready for my class that starts pretty soon here. But keep your eyes open for a video that I'll be posting really soon. I'm hoping it's going to be my character performer auditions experience, and I hope to film before, during, and after the audition as much as I can. So keep your eyes open for that, and there should be more videos to come as well. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also check out Brittany on thedisneyoutpost.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. In any case,